everybody. I'm Jaime Vendera. This is my partner, Ryan Wall, my Angel Fire East partner, my vocal coaching partner, and my songwriting partner. And we're just being silly, but we're starting a new video series called DeConstructed, where I want to walk you through all of the songs that I record, whether it's a cover tune or an original with various partners. And tonight, the very first Deconstructed that we're going to talk about is deconstructing the song Forbidding from my band Angel Fire East with Ryan Wall. And it's probably been a long time coming to get this band together because I don't even know when you joined Vendera Vocal Academy. So it's been like 6 or 7 years.
I joined in 2013.
Holy moly, it's been that long?
Yeah, it's been that long. So It's been a long time coming.
Again, Deconstructed is about our process, what vocal mics we use to record, how we mix, how we build choirs. And part of the process was you'd sent me this riff, and it went da-da-dun, 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 da-da-dun. But it drove me nuts because it was like I felt like it was stuck, like I had Tourette syndrome, and it was going da-da-da-da. I'm like, dude, you need to cut that in half, and here's an idea I had. And I don't know if you can read my mind or what. I don't know if I sang you a melody, but then you would piece it together, and you would send me another recording. And I'm like, oh, can you extend this? Can you extend that? And, you know, Forbidding, Fallen, Blinded by the Noise, all these songs started to unfold with that same process.
Yeah, the way it would work was I would just send Jaime an audio, like a 30-minute long audio file of riffs, and I would say, here, pick out, find a song in here, and he would say, okay, at minute 3:23, I like that, I like this at 8:02. So, I mean, that's just the way we did it, but slowly and slowly as we put things together, then Jaime developed his lyrics, which are amazing. They're like intertwining lyrics that all go together, and it's just amazing, like conceptual music.
We had this talk the other day. I said I always envisioned something cinematic but manic, and you had said to me something like, I said, no holds barred, do whatever you want to do. And you're a keyboard player, you're a drummer, you're a guitarist. I mean, you were programmed the drums for these, but you just started putting together the wildest stuff, and it would like set my brain on fire. And the lyrics he's referring to, my favorite author is Terry Brooks. He wrote all these books about the Sword of Shannara, the Word and Void. You might have saw the Shannara Chronicles or the Shannara Chronicles on MTV. So I wanted to write about fantasy. So, even Forbidding is about like a veil between this world of demons and humans, and how it's ripped and they're pouring through. So you made that comment for our school, for Vendera Vocal Academy, for the classroom. You said, man, they read these lyrics, they're going to think it's like Satan worshiping or something. And it's not. It's a story told about that. And it just was this great way. You would send me a riff, and we would go back and forth, or you would sing me something. And the lyric, I never write lyrics; they just come to me. I knew what I wanted it to be about, and what we had another name for this song. Well, I remember
it was called Dishearten.
Yeah, Disheartened.
That was my demo name for it.
Okay, because I remember feeling bad, thinking I don't want to tell him I want to change it, but as the lyrics were coming to me, I'm like, this is about the forbidding, about that veil. So and I said, I want to change this, and you're like, oh, that's cool, that's cool. Yeah.
And one of the greatest parts about this project is that Jaime's doing all the lyrics and the melodies. And so it just gives me so much like freedom from having to actually do that on my own solo projects and stuff, that I have to actually do that. And now Jaime's taking care of that, so I'm just free to like do the part, and it's wonderful. Well,
you're a musical freak. I mean, you're always spitting out an album or a song, and I'm like one a year. But just putting this together, I mean, so we just released the video for Forbidding that you did wonderfully, a lyric video, and it really pops. And for people familiar with the Shannara books, you see a demon in the beginning, and then there's this abstract thing. You're like, what is it? It's a tree. It's called the Elkrais. It's from the Elfstones of Shannara. And so it's like, it's perfect. But this just came together so beautifully. And somebody made the comment like, "Oh, I can hear your vocals, Jaime, on Forbidding. I can't wait to hear you on the lead," because the way that we write and the way that I write lyrics and the melody is, there's no ego involved. I absolutely having a singer that can sing as high as me, scream like me, do whatever I need to do. So I'm singing along, and I'm like, man, this isn't for me. This is Ryan. This is his song, lead vocals. So, you did it. I kind of sang it to you, and then you redid it, and man, you nailed it. And then I just started adding, and all these weird sounds and doing the harmonies around you. And then, but that wasn't enough, because then you took off and built this huge choir, and it was just amazing. So tell me about it. Tell me a little bit about your process, when you did this song.
Yeah, I mean, we started this song around 2018, I think, or 2019.
Yeah, it's been a few years.
And, I'm always into progressive metal concept album stuff. So the way that this riff in the beginning is a 7/4 riff. And that's, without even knowing it, we put this song together and it just became so progressive.
That's the thing is, you're Devin Townsend, Pain of Salvation, Winter Sun, and I come from, Evanescence, and even vocally, because we're really creating characters with our voice to match a person in one of the stories. So there's a lot of feminine characters, and I love Prince, and I love Amy Lee, so a lot of the stuff we're doing, even a lot of the harmonies are falsetto, purposely falsetto, to give it more of that feminine quality that we're going for that character. But so you create, it's weird, because even before we lay down a vocal track, you basically had all the music.
Yeah.
To this song. And tell me, what did you do? What did you record? Did you record bass? Did you program bass, drums? People said that our vocals are synthesizers, and I said there's no synthesizers on this song. There's piano that I play, but that's it.
Yeah, so we are like a piano band. So Jaime is the piano player and I'm the guitar player. And so those are our characters, I'll be singing and playing guitar, he plays piano and sings. But with this song, I put the song together, and then I would put the guitar down, and then I would put bass later. And you can really hear that I put a lot of time into, the bass in and of itself has a lot of different parts underneath it. This whole song turned into some sort of cacophony of like an orchestra, of like an epic intro to our world. That's why we wanted to release Forbidding first, because it really is the massive intro song to this Angel Fire East world that we created.
Our engineer, who will be on here in a little bit for the Angel Fire East stuff, is Max Karen, who's recorded a lot of stuff for bands like Bad Wolves, and he's working with some big up-and-coming bands. He's getting ready to go out on the road. I don't know if I'm allowed to say who it is, so I won't say unless he mentions it. But I was at Brian Burkheiser's wedding, who's the singer for I Prevail. He's one of my students, and he's my partner for Dr. Vokes. And Max had sent us one of not the final mix, but one to listen. And so Brian lives 6 hours from me. And this was, 2 weeks ago on a Friday, or a week and a half ago on a Friday. And I stayed at the wedding to the reception till 9 p.m. And I was like, I'm gonna drive home. I don't want to stay another night in the hotel room. We got stuff to do. I had that. I got in the car. You said Bluetooth it, baby, because I'm too dumb to figure it out. I finally got it on the car speakers, and I put this on repeat for like almost the whole entire 6 hours. The weird thing was, it was dark out. It just had this weird feeling, and it was lightning in the sky. It was insane. I mean, it should have been pouring, but it was these big cracks of lightning. And then by the time I got about an hour from the house, it just came a downpour. But here's all this lightning, and I swear, you listen to Forbidding, to me, it felt like it should have been if they made a movie for Stranger Things, and that would be like the theme song coming into it, because the drums are so thunderous, and the choirs, because we didn't have the choirs. I had actually built harmonies around you, some low stuff, some high stuff, and then for the build up in the center of the song without vocals or without lyrics, you just started stacking all this stuff together. And then I was like, ooh, I can do some like really low stuff to fill it in. And it just sounds like this choir of humans, in despair because these demons are breaking through for Forbidding. It was just insane. So, what is your process when you're thinking and you're hearing my voice or your voice? Where are you coming up with this stuff?
It's really just, it's almost miraculous that we sing so well together and we sort of chorus with each other. I would almost equate it to like an ABBA thing, where when we're singing together, it's almost like we're one person, or like Alice in Chains, stuff like that. But what I really, and I'll just go and I'll hear what Jaime does and I'll put some more stuff down, and it's just a natural process for me. But what I really love is that iconic piano line that he put down. And it's just, it's the most beautiful piano line I think I've ever heard. Like, it's so amazing.
Oh, come on. Running with the Demon's got a good piano piece. But, you know, the funny thing about piano, and like I said, you're from Pain of Salvation, and I'm Evanescence, so there's a difference there, for sure. But people are telling me, oh, I hear Devin Townsend stuff, but you'll have these crazy guitar riffs, and here I come in with something melodic, like it's Journey or Bon Jovi or something, and it's almost like it should be dissonant, but then they fit together like a puzzle piece. And
it's two worlds. Yeah, it's like our two worlds, our two lifetimes coming together almost. And
I think it's a different step for both you and I. When I'm doing the Vendera and Stith stuff with Scott Stith, it's a different flavor. It's older, 80s, 90s, and with your stuff, it's very progressive, and we kind of blend this together. Ironically, we're doing stuff with Scott. You're actually joining Vendera and Stith and handling the bass and the drums, but I handle all the vocals, so everything's more full voice. There's not a lot of falsetto in those songs, but we're also doing cover projects with another one of our coaches, Tiago Costa, from Vendera Vocal Academy, and Tiago's playing guitar, Scott Stith is playing guitar, you're playing bass, I'm playing piano. We're programming drums, of course, we're not going to lie about anything, but all four of us are singing. And so, not to switch over, because we'll cover this in another Deconstructed, but we did Sweet Emotion, and you had said a minute ago, oh, we blend so well together like ABBA. That's what it makes me think of. As soon as you said it, I was like, oh, shoot, when we do Sweet Emotion, it's like ABBA. It's just this perfect, because we worked and worked and worked to get it perfect for that 4-part harmony for the chorus. And that's what I love. Sometimes people don't know if you're singing or I'm singing, because it's kind of eerie. On some of the high stuff, it works out really well.
Both of us being vocal coaches and learning from each other and working on our voices sort of caused us to not overthink, but overemphasize that vocals need to be a thing in this project. And so we really have a heavy vocal. We want ourselves to be heard. We want everybody to be able to hear the lyrics. And you can really hear, so Jaime has been through some vocal damage, not because of singing, but because of a wine glass shard that got stuck in the back of his throat. And we were really worried for a little bit, like, what's this going to mean for Jaime? And here he is 5 years later after the accident, hitting a soprano C that you can hear in the back of Forbidding. And it really does give me chills just thinking about what we did to actually get through getting this song out there. And so, yeah, it's just been a great experience.
It's funny. Thank you. But I actually recorded that note back in December before me and my wife got COVID, and then we were down, and it messed with me for months. But I remember being down here. I actually thought about Jim Gillette. I was like, man, I told him this the other day. We were talking. I said, I gotta put a high note in for Jim. And I'm thinking, with the damage, I'll be lucky to belt out like a soprano A. And there's these characters in some of the Shannara books when there's a woman trapped in the Forbidding from the Four Lands, and I think they're called harpies, and they're these cat-like looking creatures, and some of them fly, and they just attack you. There's furies. There's all these crazy women demons coming at you. And when I went to hit that note, that's what I did. I pretended I was one of them. I'm flying through the air. My claws are out. My teeth are out. My wings are flapping. And I'm like, oh, it's got to be a soprano A, because I have relative pitch, I have perfect pitch. And then when I heard it was C, I couldn't believe it, because I hadn't hit a soprano C since the accident, which was 2014. So, yeah, it made me feel pretty good.
And it's the passion, people are saying, oh, is that Jaime or Ryan singing? Well, look at the lyrics and just look at what an amazing song we're singing and how much passion we put into this. And, it is me lead on Forbidding, but Jamie's almost like the hype vocalist in the back. You hear him doing these amazing high notes, amazing harmonies, and it's just one of the coolest songs I've ever gotten the chance to work on. So I'm super excited for the next stuff we're doing. Yeah, well, dude, I think that's the thing with Angel Fire East. I'm not... neither one of us have egos. I don't. If the next 6 songs are you on lead, and then the next 6 songs after me on lead, it doesn't matter to me.
I have to. It's almost like I'm having fun being a vocal producer. So I'm like, if I hear me singing it, then I'll sing it. We're getting ready. Fallen's kind of you're doing the lead on the chorus. I'm doing the smoky low verses, and I handle that. And then the one after we're recording right now, Running with the Demon. I was talking to you the other day. I'm like, I'm going to be doing both the male and female parts because that's just what I hear in my head. And then you'll be enveloping me with harmonies. But the one thing I like about it is I stripped down I used to do studio projects. Mics is what I used to use. And I got a SM7B. You can't see it in the back because it's so dark in here. And I went with the Golden Age Pre-73. And so, I didn't spend a lot of money. And that's what I'm using. And I think I even recorded Forbidding on my iPad. I don't know if I had Logic yet.
You did.
Yeah, because I was using Audio Evolution Mobile. And then I switched to a Mac Mini because you're using Logic. One of our other coaches is using Logic. Scott is using Logic, so it just made sense for that. But yeah, that was just on the iPad using IK Multimedia as my I/O to get into there. But I don't even know what mic you're using for these vocals, but I know it's probably above an SM7B because you got all this crap over there that I can't afford yet.
No, I'm using a fairly decent condenser mic that Steven Slate makes. And it's Jamie's right though. You don't need a lot of money to do what we're doing. You can do everything we're doing on an SM58. In fact, that's one of the mics I sound pretty good on. I actually love the way I sound on an SM58. So that's a $100 microphone. So you really don't need to put that much money into it, and you can start cranking out songs. You can figure out the techniques, how we do it, how we sort of bounce down all of our tracks to make these big sessions, and we're doing something that we love here.
Yeah, and we're doing classes in Vendera Vocal Academy where you actually break that down and explain it, so we get deeper than what we do on Deconstructed. But you had recorded a full album sitting in your car with your laptop singing through an SM58.
It was an SM7B. So it was even.
Well, it was.
It was, yeah, and I was hand.
I thought, you were hand holding it. I thought it was a 58. That's insane.
No, it's even bigger than a 58. So yeah.
So what did you use as a preamp in the flipping car then?
And it was an Apogee Duet 2.
Okay,
and actually, during the recording of that, my Duet actually malfunctioned, so I had to get the new Duet. And so I would go every single day down to my car, because I lived in an old folks community, and I wasn't, I didn't know Jaime by then. I didn't know you can be confident and just sing, and but so I went down into my car and I was singing every night, and I had the passion to make an album to get my voice out there, and I followed through with it, which is something everybody's got to do, and that's, we're showing that you can do that with Forbidding.
I had some questions because I put this out on Facebook. If anyone had questions, I think we really covered everyone that people have asked me. But the one I do want to reiterate again is, did you use any synthesizers on this song to mimic voice?
Not at all to mimic a voice. I don't even know if there's a synth that could do that. Yep. Maybe the one that Vitas uses.
Yeah, because I had that question, and someone asked, what packs did we use of vocal choirs? Because, for engineers can buy the packs with vocal choirs.
None whatsoever.
Yeah, well, I think it's, being able to texture our voice and have so many different tonal choices. Because you may have sang one part and then re-sang it again, maybe in falsetto or a pharyngeal tone or a full voice to kind of get that unique blend, so it sounds like there's 40 people singing at once. So it's just a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. Yeah.
I think we need to reach out to Max Karen, and so we'll pull him in just a minute.